Hi, my name is Michelle, and this is my final for CIS 3367 with Professor Wheeler. For my final, I will focus on how much a holiday feast will cost if I invite 24 friends and family over. During the holidays, my family and I have a tradition of visiting one another and eating a big feast while catching up with each other and having a fun time. Usually, we have the holiday party at my grandparents' house, but this year, my immediate family and I will be hosting the party. Now, to host this party, there are a few things that are crucial, including the amount of food. The best way to budget is to list down all the foods, and Excel Solver does an excellent job on helping me find a solution on how to budget. I've created a sheet that indicates the amount of guests, my budget, the total cost for food, and the cost reserved for drinks and decor. Now, in this case, this year's budget is $2,000 for food, drinks, and decor, but I prioritized food, so the money left over after the total cost for food would be used for drinks or decor. I've created a list of food items that I plan to have served in the holiday party. The list includes meat products such as turkey and chicken and pork, veggies, which include green beans, carbs such as rice and dinner rolls, and last but definitely not least, if anything, it's my favorite, dessert. Now, I plan to actually bake the dessert for the holiday party. That includes tiramisu and cheesecake. Following the list of food is the serving size for each food item. One of my constraints include how every guest should be able to eat at least one or more serving for each food on the list. So of course, I would indicate the serving size for just one food item. Following that column is the type of food. I have divided it up to meat, dessert, and veggies. Please keep in mind that for dessert, I put down pineapple because typically my family and I eat fruits and consider that dessert after the main meal. And I did a column that indicates the classification or type of food because to keep a healthy balance, I would like to make sure that the amount of meat products do not exceed the amount of veggies being served in the party. I've also indicated whether the food item is store-bought or homemade. And I have a constraint that says that homemade items, hint hint the dessert, should have a sum of less than $400. Then next to that column, I listed down the cost for every food item, in addition to the number of food item that would be needed to make sure every guest would be able to either have one or maybe more serving. And then the total cost for each food. And last but not least, a column for serving size. So there's actually a really useful tool in Excel called Solver. And to get that, you go to the Data tab and click on Solver. Now, in this case, I had all my constraints down. But for example, if we were to write a constraint for tofu, which I will be serving, I would make sure that my objective will select the specific cell, which in this case is I-23. And I will select value of and indicate 24 because I would like the value to be at least 24 or higher. Now, column I is being affected by column G. So I indicated that for changing variable cells. And last but not least, I also put a constraint in this case to indicate how I would like to have the serving size to be greater than or equal to 24. Now, after including my constraints, all you will simply do is select solve. Now, this is the results I get after selecting solve. And in this case, for tofu, which normally serves 4 people, I would have to buy at least 6 tofu boxes or items. So my guests of 24 would be able to eat at least 1 or more serving. Now for the dessert that I plan to make, which includes tiramisu and cheesecake, I have made 2 sheets that go further on from that. For my tiramisu, I listed down the ingredients, the quantity that I need. The item quantity represents the amount that is sold or offered in grocery stores. And last but not least, the price. After indicating all of the price, I have a total cost for making tiramisu. And because both recipes, cheesecake and tiramisu, requires heavy cream, sugar, and eggs, I have listed that down and included the amount needed also for cheesecake. Speaking of cheesecake, here's the ingredients that I have listed. Please keep in mind I do not have the sugar or heavy cream as I indicated because I considered that during my tiramisu cost. And I indicated that in my list, and I found that the budget that I have actually exceeds my total cost for food, which is right now $860.69. Now that means I have around $1,139.31 left over to spend on drinks and decor, maybe perhaps even a raffle, because my family and I love to do a raffle drawing as well. Now this final project taught me how to think critically and learn how to use Solver. I hope you learned a little more about Solver, and thanks everyone for tuning in.